To all our subscribers who celebrate Easter, I wish you a fantastic holiday. I hope you have celebrated it and you have spent it with the loved ones. Let me check on my computer if we are live. Yes, we are live. I will cancel the sound here and open it so that I can see your questions if you will come with any. Oops. Yes, now I will be able to see them. Anyway, like I have promised in the name of this video, we will speak about the age gap. And not so long ago, I have shared a video for you. Oh, thank you. I got some water. I have the best husband ever. I have shared a video that me and Alessia have filmed before their war in Ukraine, but dating tips and dating advice are still solid, so we have decided to share the video. Yes. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Can you please tell me that? So I wanted to answer some of the comments that I have received below this video. I have them on my iPad. Let me open it. Yes, here I have all the comments that you have shared with us below the previous video about the age gap. So I want to address them, and then I will take some questions and share more stories related to dating with the age gap. So one gentleman writes, you are asking the wrong question. The real question is, will a woman in her 30s successfully keep her man who's in his 50s? Women really need to work harder if they want to keep anyone. I think the author of this comment should get over himself and he should get out of his la la land. Of course, if you are a Johnny Depp, or maybe you are a Richard Gere, or maybe you are just a guy who owns several hospitals or maybe a huge IT company and he's in his 50s, then maybe you will be popular among ladies in their 30s, because there are always women in all countries, in the US as well, who will trade their time for a few bags by Prada or Chanel. In any other cases, it will be extremely, extremely hard for a guy in his 50s to even get on the radar of a woman in her 30s. Of course, there can be some exceptions. For example, she's in her 30s and she has 4 kids from 4 different men. Well, I'm not talking right now that relationships with an age gap are impossible. They are extremely rare. And last week, this week, it's Sunday, so it almost feels like the week is over. I have conducted numerous interviews with ladies, and you know what? The funny thing is that ladies in their early 40s, for example, she's 41, 42, 43, she is physically attractive and she looks good, she takes good care of herself. And for example, she is divorced or never married, some of them were with kids. And when I ask a woman who's 42, who's a good looking 42 years old Ukrainian woman, which age group of men she considers, she is telling me 40 to 45. And many of them actually date such men back home in Ukraine. So she's 42 and she's dating men who are her age, even a few years younger. And when I tell them that that's a bit unrealistic and I would recommend her to consider dating someone if she's 42, let's say from 40 and up till 50, because it will give her more choices. And actually, this is the age group of men who are looking for her type. Many women tell me that, oh, but man who's 50, he's like old, he won't be able to keep up with me. Of course, it's ridiculous, and I start explaining to such a woman that there are plenty of men in their like late 40s, early 50s who are very active, fit, who eat healthy, who have different, very interesting hobbies and activities. So when gentlemen in their 50s write such ridiculous statements like, it is easy for them to date women in their 30s. Of course, as a matchmaker who talks to lots of ladies for 13 years already and knows the reality, what type of men women are looking for. And after talking to a man, I can pretty much tell among which type of women will be popular or won't be popular at all. So to answer of this comment, that's unrealistic. Unless you are rich and famous, then probably there will be women in their 30s who would be willing to be by your side because she wants to live in a very expensive mansion, she wants to fly business, and she wants to buy designer purses. There are plenty of women who understand that their use and their looks can get them Prada. That's reality. Our age difference should be maximum 10 years according to our Indian concept of unionship. Well, actually, 10 years, if we are talking about a couple not in the situation when she is 20 and he is 30, in this case, they will be on totally different pages of their lives. So like at 20, usually she is still in the university, and by 30, a gentleman, he has already graduated from the university. Pretty much he lives by his own means, so he can provide for himself, so he's an adult. And by 20, think about yourself when you were like a college kid or university kid. Was marriage among your top 5 priorities? I doubt it. Of course, if we are talking about a scenario, and for example, she is 32 and he is 42, and both of them have never been married, and both of them have university degrees, and both of them want to settle down and to have kids, then such union makes sense. And yes, for some 32 years old, actually for most 32 years old, the age gap of 10 years can be a little bit too extreme. They would be looking for someone in their 30s, but still it makes more sense. For example, when a lady is 42 and a gentleman is 52, such a union, it also makes sense because they went through similar experiences in their lives. They both have been students, they both had relationship, probably they went through divorces, and in many cases in this age group, they both are parents or they want to be parents, so it makes more sense. Okay, another comment. Let me get this one. Definitely, at 36, she's a young woman. Compared to a man in his 50s, sure. And how would you call a lady in her 30s if she is 36? And a man in his 50s? But there is something called a biological clock, and I'm talking by natural means. If she doesn't want kids, then no problem. I have matched so many couples with ladies who were 36, 37, 38, and they got married and they had kids. One of my favorite couples, I have introduced them when the lady was 37 and her husband, he was 48, and now they have 3 kids together. So if you think that it depends only on a lady, no, it depends on a man as well. And for example, in Ukraine, if a gentleman is over 45, and for example, lady got pregnant, they will make you go through numerous tests because, like older fathers, they also increases certain risks. And if a woman is 36 and she wants to have kids, a man in his 50s won't be her first choice. Of course, if he's a full package, like he's well established, he's super good looking, he's super fit, super athletic, so he's an exceptional 50 years old. In any other cases, if she is 36, she will be looking for someone up till his middle 40s. That's reality. I'm talking to you about what women are looking for, not because I want to introduce women only to the men their age. No. But guys, if a woman is not attracted to you because you're like old in her opinion, she's like 36 and he is 55, there won't be much she will be able to do to win her over. So she will tell that if I tell a woman that, oh, I have a match for you, he's 55 and he claims he feels attracted to only to much younger women, she will tell me that good luck to him, Svetlana. I'm 36 and he is 55 and he's way too old for me. And you can't blame her because that's reality. So when gentlemen write something like that biological clock and stuff like that, guys, it works both for ladies and for gentlemen. Sometimes we are reached by men who are like in their late 50s and they claim they want to have kids. And I tell them honestly that it will be very, very hard, almost not possible for you to meet a lady who will be willing to have a kid with a man who is almost 60. Because you can understand the logic of a lady. She's telling something like, Svetlana, okay, he's 59 now and he looks good for his 59. But what happens in 5 years when he's 64? I want to have sex and I want to be happy and to live an active sexual life. And in 10 years, when, for example, she is just 45 and he is already 69, almost 70. So if you think that women are not thinking about it, then you're just naive. What else? Gentleman right here. For a girl who's 39 and goes out a lot, clearly she has little interest in having children. You don't know that about her. She can choose to have kids after she meets someone when she's 41 or 42. Everyone is up to make their own decisions, and to shame someone that at 39 she is building a career or going out. It's not like she's leaving like 3 kids at home and goes out. If she doesn't have kids, it's up to her. If a woman doesn't want to date someone who's 15 or 20 years older, it doesn't make her stupid, and it just means that she knows what she wants. So when gentlemen tell me something that, oh, there is a supply and demand on the market of singles, yes, you're right. And gentlemen in their 50s are not in demand among ladies in their 30s. That's reality. So if your friend or a friend of a friend who is 54 has managed to start dating a lady who is 37, you don't know their relationship. Perhaps they both got lucky and he just has found a woman who has found all the qualities she is looking for in this guy. But it doesn't make it a rule. It's a huge exception. So such relationship, they are truly exceptional. And relationship with an age gap of 10 years, and I'm not even talking right now about 15 and 20 years, such extreme age gaps, they are very, very rare. And also don't confuse dating with marrying someone. It can be fun to date someone, for example, over summer or right now because she got bored during the lockdown or because she wants to get over her ex-boyfriend, and now there is this guy who, for example, can take her to places she has never been before, or for example, he speaks another language, he's a foreigner and she finds him exotic. Don't mix the desire to hang out with someone, to briefly date someone, with a desire to actually date this person long term. So if she's 35 and she dates a man who is like 52, you don't know if she considers him to be a boyfriend material. You don't know that. I'm not telling you right now that it is impossible to date someone who's 15 or 20 years younger. It is extremely, extremely rare. And for some gentlemen, when I talk to him during the first consultation, I even can't imagine a woman in her 30s who would be willing to date him because he gives you such vibes and he starts telling you that I'm so useful and everybody wants to date me. And he gives you the vibes of your funny uncle or maybe a father of your friend. And it is hard to imagine which woman will find it attractive. Because when you are talking to women, and I talk to many women, and right now I'm meeting many women in Germany. Next week I will be in Poland and I will be meeting women there where actually adding new candidates to our database. And when they describe what type of a man they want to meet, I have never met a woman who would tell me that I want to date someone who is 20 years older. Yes, we have matched over 13 years, a few couples who have age difference of 17 years, even 19, but just a few couples. And again, these were exceptional. So it just happened that I have met this woman, and I understand that my client, my male client, has all the qualities she is looking for, and she has all the qualities that he is looking for, but he is older than what she is looking for. And then I suggest them a date, and sometimes it clicks, sometimes it doesn't. I see that there are some comments. I got one, aged 42, for your point, the woman has to have some attraction. She has to have lots of attraction. Some attraction won't make it. Forget about this stupid cliche that Ukrainian women want to date someone who's a little bit more attractive than a monkey. No. Women think about it. Do I want to spend the rest of my life with this guy? Do I want my kids to look like him? Of course, it doesn't mean that everybody is looking for a Ken. Smart women are not looking for that. But physical attraction should be there. But people, especially men, sometimes they claim that, oh, I can feel physically attracted only to Angelina Jolie or only to Jennifer Aniston. Get over yourself, or you will stay single. What else? It really isn't that easy for a woman over 40 to have children. It can happen, of course, it does, but if a woman expects it, she can be quite disappointed. I know many women who had kids in their 40s. My mom had my brother when she was 43. I know many women who struggle to conceive in their 20s and in their 30s for different reasons. Because of her husband, because of her, because of genetics. There are so many reasons. It takes two to make a baby, don't forget about that. And it's not just about women. Okay, might contact Diolli within this year. You can do that. We work and we plan to actually show some offline dates in Poland. We are still looking for a location to do it. Basically, we want to see in which city we will accumulate more matches, more women. So, of course, we have no doubts that we will resume scheduling dates in Kharkov, Ukraine, but to be honest, I always wanted to do something in Western Europe, and probably we will have two bases in Ukraine and maybe in Poland, maybe in Germany. We will see. I'm testing the water. I'm meeting many ladies, and we will see where we will have more candidates in our base. So far, I see that Ukrainian women who are now in Germany and who are in Poland, they are a bit different in their expectations, in their circumstances, in their backgrounds, and we will see. So they will make good matches for different type of clients. What else? Let me return to your comments below the last video. I'm 40 and my girlfriend is 36. She will complete 36 in May month and enter in her 37. She's from Shpikiv, but because of fight on WhatsApp, we are not talking. We are in relationship from last 6 years. 6 years, and she is still your girlfriend. You haven't put a ring on her finger. So you have stolen 6 years of her life and you haven't proposed to her? Like, really? You're Something is wrong with the internet. Let me see if I can Wi-Fi and so can you hear me? Can you see me? There is something wrong with the internet for a few seconds, so please write me if you're still here. Then the gentleman writes how much possible to get her back and start a happy life, but I can't compromise with my life discipline and rules. I'm a lone wolf personality that she likes society, festivals, the beaches, taking with friends, which irritates me a lot. Please give me a guide. I can get or this or forget her and focus on my business. If your life goals and life priorities do not align. If you want different thing, then don't waste each other times. If you want to stay at home and she wants to party, 6 years, that's a lot. During these 6 years, you could have already possibly learned everything about each other. Actually, first 6 months of a relationship when you're still building it and you're still drunk on romance and this first initial attraction, you should go through these long-term goals if they align, if you're looking for the same things. If you want to get married officially, if official marriage is something that is very important to you, if you want to have kids, how soon you want to have kids, within the next 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, where do you want to settle down, in which country, area, how do you see it? Or, for example, if you expect her to be a stay-at-home mom after you have your first kid, if you expect her to give up her job, or do you want to be partners in raising the kids? You should talk about money, what it is worth investing money, what is not worth investing money. Some people think it's okay to rent an apartment, to be flexible, to live in different places, and to travel the world. Other people believe it's stupid to waste money on rent. It is better to actually buy a house and to pay for your house. So you should have this talk. So I see that I'm back with the internet. Would you entertain a client whose annulment is still in process, takes about 3-4 years to finish? Why so long? Again, it depends on the circumstances. I don't think that there will be a woman who will be willing to wait 4 years. They had experience when, for example, our client was on the final stage of his divorce. So in 6 months and 5 months, he was getting one. Then, of course, we can introduce him to a woman, telling her that he is separated from his ex for example, a year and a half, and they don't live together and they are over each other. My client is ready to date, but he waits for final papers because of COVID. Many people had to wait longer, but 3-4 years, I don't think that a marriage-minded woman will be willing to wait so long, because if she's looking for a serious relationship and she wants to get married, and then 3-4 years will be too much. Do Ukrainian women say early 20s want to get married still? The trend to get married when she is in her early 20s, it was a Soviet trend, and Ukraine is independent for 31 years already. So no, it's not the trend. Usually, people who get married in their early 20s, they have been sweethearts through their whole high school. Then they went to the university together. And for example, their parents are very traditional and they don't let them to move in together if they don't get married. She is 22, he is 22, they're just out of the university, then they get married. Other scenarios, they are very not common, because to spend 5 years in the university, and usually women and men in Ukraine graduate when they are 22, 23, 21, and to invest 5 years into getting a degree just to get married after that and to have babies, no. Usually, women and men, they tend to get married in their late 20s, middle 20s, late 30s. It doesn't mean that ladies in their early 20s do not date. Many want to have a boyfriend. A boyfriend, if she's 22, who's like, for example, up till 27, if she likes older men, like she's 22, and for her, an older man will be someone who's 27. Yes, she wants to have a boyfriend, to date, to get to know each other, maybe to get married in a few years, like in 3-4 years. After they enjoy being a boyfriend and a girlfriend, after they learn how to be a boyfriend and a girlfriend, after they enjoy an engagement that can last a year, maybe a year and a half, 2 years. But I can tell that if a woman is in her early 20s to be willing to get married, if she is from a tiny village, and for example, she went to high school and now there is no chances for her to go to college to get an education, like in all tiny towns, in all small villages, yes, she will very likely marry the same boy she went to high school with, and they will have kids in their early 20s, like all around the globe in small towns where everyone knows everyone, people do get married like that, but it's not very common. And such women, they don't consider international dating because for them, even dating someone who's from a big city can be a challenge. They are more close-minded, and such rural areas, they won't date outsiders. So, what else? The gentleman writes, there is a difference between a woman and a girl, either a difference between a girl and a spinster. A spinster, who is a spinster in your opinion? And how would you call a man who is, for example, in his 50s and he is never married and he has never been in a relationship? So, of course, you can try to slander someone with this word. You can try to call her a spinster. I can tell you, I have met so many women like in their 50s, late 40s, who are super fit, super active, speak several languages. And I was talking to a woman, she has started learning German. She doesn't plan staying here. She wants to return back to Kharkov after it is safe to go back. Many people have returned to Kiev already, but in Kharkov it is still not safe. So she has decided to take German classes here while she can. She speaks Italian, she speaks English, she's super active. She travels, she does sport, she's into yoga. Yes, she's divorced. But no way in the world I would call her a spinster. So many men in their 40s, 50s, 60s who believe that there are like tons of women in their 20s and 30s waiting for them, get over yourself. So, what planet are you living on? Okay, there is another comment. Over and over, you keep trying to shame men for wanting a woman in her 30s. A matchmaker, you should know sexual market value is how you should match people. Why are you using age? Because I know the demand and supply. I don't want to see lots of disappointed men with bruised egos, and male egos are super, super fragile. So when men in their 50s, especially who have wasted lots of time and effort brushing their egos on paper letter dating sites, where you pay for each letter that you receive and send, and of course you receive lots of letters because you have paid for it, from pictures that claim to be women in their 20s and 30s, it is hard for them to face the reality that unless he goes to gym and gets rid of his belly, it will be very hard for him to get an attractive woman his age. Not even talking right now about someone 10 years younger. The reality is the majority of women in their 40s, they want to date someone in their 40s. And yes, they are also attracted to youth. If there were men in their 30s who would be willing to date them, I'm sure they would take this opportunity. So that's reality, that's the truth of life. The reality is also that if a woman is 42, there won't be lines of suitors in their 30s who would be willing to date them. So dating someone within the age group, for example, if she's 42 up till I would say 52, it makes sense to me. Like if she's 42, super good looking, then an exceptional 50 years old who is athletic, fit, he can be a good match. But she will be aiming for someone who is like 47, 45. If a woman is 36, for men, like 45 is like the top. She doesn't consider dating someone older. So when we are getting a client who is 50 and he's good looking, never married, no kids or no small kids from previous relationship, and he wants someone in her 30s, like late 30s, if he has a whole package, it is doable. It will be hard, and usually, like in such cases, we can hear about 70 no's from 70 women. Like last record breaker was a guy, like we have heard 82 no's. Our psychologist has heard to talk to 82 women who said no to dating our client till we have found a woman who has showed interest, and that's what we are doing. But of course, many men think that, oh, it's a piece of cake, or just because I want to date someone younger, they should form a line. If it was that easy, we wouldn't be having this discussion. People would just know that it is easy. You can go out and you can start dating. someone 20 years younger, but it doesn't happen. So it is extremely hard and it is extremely rare when a man in his 50s really settles with a woman in her 30s and they live happily ever after, through their happily ever after. We have matched such couples over the years, but every time it is a huge challenge. Like 82 interviewers, listen to it, 82 women said no. And they were pre-selected previously by our psychologists. So we went through our base and we thought, who might consider our client? Who might consider our client? In majority of cases, they didn't even ask for a photo. So they have heard the age and said, no, I'm not interested. Some gentlemen tell us that, oh, you should lie about my age. Never ever start dating someone with lies. It's always a bad strategy and it will always backfire and you will regret it. So a gentleman continues. If Eastern European women are so picky, they flock into these dating sites. Guys, people at the dating sites, if you compare the population of Ukraine to the number of women who these dating sites claim are there, I made a video about it. It's like less than 5% of population. And out of this 5%, we have to cut all the photos that had been stolen from Facebook, internet, photos that of women that are not even Ukrainians, Polish women, Russian women. And there are no Ukrainian women who form in lines who are in their 30s dating men in their 50s. That's reality. If you want to believe paper-laden dating sites, well, some guys go to watch stripper dancing and they believe that every stripper who is dancing on stage is dancing just for him and she is already in love with him. And he believes that's not her job. And she does it just out of pure pleasure to watch this guy. Some people are just ridiculous in their attitude to dating. They can be very smart, academically smart. I remember I have been talking to this gentleman, a professor, who told me that, you know what, almost all my students in their 20s, they like me. They want to hang out with me. And the gentleman was in his late 50s. So for sure, I have to date a woman in her 20s. So if your students want to hang out with you, maybe they like talking about history to you. Maybe they want to get better grades. Maybe some of them don't have fathers and grandfathers, so it is fun for them to talk to an older person. And you know what? Talking to older people, you can learn a lot. My mother-in-law, she's 73, and I love talking to her, and I can learn a lot about her life, about our city 50 years ago, which I haven't experienced myself. So it can be fun to talk to someone who represents another generation. It doesn't mean that those students consider him as a dating object. It doesn't mean that they feel attracted to him. So it is easy to believe in lies and at those paperless dating sites when you pay for every letter and all those pretty pictures send you messages that I like you, I love you, and age is just a number. No. Do real women behave like that? No. And the man continues. High value men that make over 100K a year make up less than 5% of Earth's population. Where did you get this information from? That's not so. There are many people who are successful in different countries. And if we are talking about US, like 100K minus taxes, I doubt it you will dress her in Prada, Gucci, etc. Then why are you looking for someone who is 20, 30 years younger? You won't be able to afford a woman who wants to be a trophy wife. And usually women who are okay to date someone 20, 30 years older, they are willing to be trophy wives. That's not a secret. There are such women in different countries, different nations. Why else should she date someone who is the same age as her parents? Because she likes classics. People can be interesting. Single female makes are when people create such data, where do they get this data from? Out of your head that single females make 35% of the Earth's population and single men. Oh, so keep trying to shame them. I'm not shaming anyone. If there were women in their 30s who were willing to date guys in their 50s, it will be a piece of cake for me to match them, and I would become a very rich and a very lazy person. But when you get a client who is 55 and he wants to date, for example, a lady who is 38 up till 43, my team and I, we already know that there will be like hundreds of interviews with women who will hang out on us after, for example, I tell her that, oh, there is this guy and he's such a sweetheart, but he's 55 and she's 37. She will tell me, like, Svetlana, are you nuts? Like, 55, my father is like 58. What are you offering me? And we will lose some good matches. So this comment is ridiculous. The gentleman writes, again, you seem to have a problem with men. Not sure how you stay in business. 13 years and still going, 150 plus marriages, 0 divorces. And we are very picky with clients when we take over. We often say no, because we understand that, for example, we won't be able to deliver what the gentleman claims he wants, simply because we don't know women that he wants to date. So many men in their 60s who are willing to date ladies in their 30s, like men who are not rich, famous, affluent, super good looking, who claim that only a woman in her 30s, we were telling no, because we don't know such women who would be open to date him. To go out on a date because she wants to eat at a fancy restaurant, yes, but we don't sell dates. We introduce people to people who are serious, relationship-minded, and who want to meet someone to build a relationship that can lead to marriage. So as we call it, like dinner dates, when she does just wants to have a dinner and never to see him again, you can find that on Tinder. Makers don't do that. So I see that there are many questions. Let me see it. We'll work out on the annulment phase first, and then I'll come back to Diolli. Yes, you should do that. And also, you will feel differently once all the papers are finalized, and you will be able to start meeting someone, start this new page, turn the old page, start the new page of your life. When you will be at the final stage and you know that there will be like still 5 months, 6 months, we can already start the process. Of course, we will warn all your matches that you are still finalizing your divorce. And usually it takes us about 6-8 weeks to come up with matches and to do all the coaching hours. So matchmaking is a process. It doesn't happen overnight. Not a piece of cake for sure. It's hardcore at the end. Red tape of the courts. Delusional. What age do you recommend to a man 43 has no kids, but wants kids? Is being 30s, middle 30s fine, especially when I only look for women without children. If you want to date a woman without children and you're 43, I would say 42. I would say 32 and up till 38 maybe. Yes, it can be possible, but again, I have to talk to you and to understand which other qualities are important to you, what you are looking for. Because probably you will be willing to date someone who is well educated, or maybe education won't matter to you. Maybe you will be willing to date someone who loves outdoors or loves pets, or vice versa, who is not obsessed with having cats and dogs. So also there will be physical attraction. I'm not talking right now that you are looking for a blonde with blue eyes, but still, for example, height. Certain gentlemen are attracted to girls who are like taller or on the shorter side, curvier, skinnier. someone who is more glamorous, less glamorous. So you can send us an email. You can fill in the request form at our website, and we will schedule the first free interview with me. And we will talk more about who you are, what you are looking for, and if we can do that. Are those sites certainly addictive? Well, like drugs, like chocolate, it is so much more fun for some people to claim that I will go to gym next year and sofa is so comfy. Reality is can be hard, especially dating reality. On people on the dating sites, nobody will tell him that you look like my friend's uncle, or you look old, or I'm not attracted to you. In real life, if you will try a free dating site, there will be plenty of women who won't return your messages, and that's okay. It's okay that not all women will be willing to date you. You don't want to date all women as well. So we all have our preferences. Aged 42, 32, aged lady. To claim for someone 10 years younger, don't focus too much on the age. Focus on your goals, long-term goals, and try to find a lady who has similar long-term goals. The age group, yes, I would say 32 up till 38. So it sounds reasonable, but don't try to choose a lady because, oh, she is 32, so it makes her a better match than a woman who is 36. No. Look for someone who has similar, really similar long-term goals and who is on the same page with you about all the important things. 2-3 years, it's not a deal breaker. It shouldn't be. Do you think that the actual situation changed the acceptance of older men for some women? Like better to be safe with no older men? No, isn't. Guys, I had been interviewing ladies within the last 3 weeks, and nobody told me that I want to date someone old. No. Just yesterday, I had an interview with a lady. She's 43, and she told me that she has never dated a man who is older than 47. So I wanted to match her with my 51 years old client, and she said that 51, like, he is old. And I hear such statements like twice per day. So no, no. And older men for many ladies, for most of Ukrainian ladies, is someone who is 5-7 years older. Actually, 7 years, it's the most popular age gap that we match at Diolli, when a man is 7 years older. 10 years also happened, but again, they have to have similar long-term goals. They have to be on the same page about many things. Look for a person who shares your long-term goals and priorities. Don't look for age, because you will waste lots of time and lots of heart, and you will end up empty-handed and bitter. 30s who's willing to have children. Yes, there are many women in their 30s who want to have children. Actually, the trend is that many women who are well-educated, open-minded, well-traveled, and usually such women are open to international dating. They start to think about kids in their late 20s, early 30s. So I have many girls who are like 30, 34, and for them, meeting someone, having kids, building a family is a priority. How much does it cost for matchmaking? Or you can send us an email, and we will send you more information about our prices. I think the cheapest package that we offer at the moment is about 6K. So we have to learn more about who you are, what you're looking for, how many matches you will need, what's your request. Of course, if you will have to interview 82 candidates to get you one match because you want to date someone 15 years younger, all these hours that we will invest into the interviews, you will have to pay for that. So it will be a more expensive package. Do you think fertility is an issue with a woman over 36 and for a woman? How old are you? If you are 55, then yes, usually men who are over 45 in Ukraine, like I have mentioned, if a man is over 45, they will make you do lots of additional tests if a woman is pregnant, because the fertility, it depends on both parties, a gentleman and a woman. A woman can be okay when she is 36, and we have matched a lady She was 37 when we have introduced her to our client, and she had 3 kids straight away. Then we have introduced a lady who was 36, and she had 3 kids straight away. And once we have introduced a couple, she was 25 and her husband, he was 3 years older, 28. They were dating for about 3 years, and then they had an engagement that lasted about a year and a half. And then they actually have struggled to conceive for several years, but now they are happy parents of a baby girl. So it depends on so many factors. It doesn't depend solely on age. So when gentlemen tell me something like, oh, women in their 30s can't have kids, go talk to a doctor. Like, that's ridiculous. Hey, I'm willing to double that if I could get a potential wife. For 6K, we wouldn't take a gentleman who wants to date someone 20 years younger. I can tell you from the very beginning, because we would have to do lots of interviews, crazy interviews. Of course, how we form our packages. If a man, for example, wants to date someone closer to his age, or he's divorced, has kids, he's open to date a lady who is also divorced and who has kids, we understand that we won't have to go through numerous interviews to get him matches, and it makes the process shorter, cheaper. So we always count the amount of hours that our team will have to invest into the process. So it is very individual, and we have to talk to you first. And we love getting results. We work with success fees. So usually we also cut our honorar into 2 stages, and we get the second stage as a bonus after our clients get married or get engaged. So we are also financially interested in introducing our clients to women who are relationship oriented, so that this acquaintance lead to engagement and marriage. Of course, we get professional satisfaction out of it, but also we are better paid when we create couples. So the motivation is doubled for us. I'm 30, but I'm 5 years away from thinking about marriage, and I want 3 kids, but I don't want to rush and have them back to back. Well, in 5 years, you will be 35. You can start looking for a lady who is in her late 20s, early 30s, who is on the same page with you about your desire to have kids and other important stuff. Double pay if I get a wife with Diolli. Let's have an interview with you to find out what you are looking for, and if we are the right company for you, if we can deliver you what you want. Because we take clients over only when we understand that we can provide a client with good matches. But of course, we are not magicians. If a client will sabotage all his dates, if he will act weirdly, if he will neglect all our dating tips and advice, that's his own responsibility. We can only share tips and advice. We can show the weak points, but it is up to a gentleman to listen to us and to implement our advice into his dating strategy and to get the results he wants, or to do the way he did it within the last 10 years, and he will get the same results as he was getting within this last 10 years. It also depends on how many eggs the woman starts off with. It is a big reason why a woman can have several babies late 30s, early 40s. There are so many reasons, so many factors: her way of life, genetics, her parents, how much stress she's into. So many factors. Like, I'm meeting so many families here in Germany who have 5, 6 children. 5, 6. That's lots of babies, and they are like approximately like they were born like year after year. So of course, not every woman is willing to have like 5 or 6 kids. Attraction levels. If you will tell me something about 10s, 7s, and 5s, that's crazy. Usually men tell something like, oh, I will date only a 10. And you look at him and he's like a 5. beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but of course, there are certain standards. If you want to date a woman who's super attractive, who takes great care of her looks, it usually means that looks is important to her as well. So, will you even look alike when you will sit in the same restaurant, or will you look like your uncle who likes to eat a lot and who doesn't care much about his looks? So, yes, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but it's a two-way street. It works both ways. A woman has to be attracted to you as well. Let me see, my phone is not dying. I don't know why. Usually, when I'm doing these live streams, it kills the battery so quickly. Many our clients with whom we have worked, after they went with the process, they tell us that you should actually double your prices because you are getting so much more from this process. You are changing lives, etc. But we are located in Ukraine. If we were located, let's say, in the US with our experience and with our resources, it would cost like New York matchmakers. It will be like 20K, 15K. But we are located in Ukraine, and of course, the market dictates our prices. But we have same licenses, and we have lots of experience. And in New York, not many matchmakers can afford to have psychologists on board. So we do that. I go to gym regularly, do running, do swimming. Unfortunately, I also like burgers, sweet chocolate pizza. So I'm fit and have to. So I'm fit and have too much waste. We all are cheaters from time to time, and we all have our cheat meals. So it happens, unfortunately. But again, the way we look, pretty much it shows our way of life very often. If you are lazy, if you're an active person, I wish I could afford 5, 6 babies. It can't be cheap. Yes, babies are expensive. If the man is a 7, do you find a woman that is also a 7 or an 8? Again, this crazy 7, 8, 10s, I hate it. I hate this division. Some men and some women, like for example, people who have darker hair, other like blonde. I can tell you that there can be a woman, I will show her to 3 gentlemen her photos, and one will tell that she's plain, other will tell that she's super hot, and the third will tell that he's not sure. So it's so individual. Sometimes gentlemen send me photos of their ex-girlfriends and tell that, look, she's a 10. And I look at her and I understand that most of my clients would tell that she's plain. So it's all very individual, and attraction is built of so many layers. It's not just the picture. Maybe she had the personality that compensates that looks. Maybe she has a certain attitude. Maybe she's super smart about flirt and dating, and she acts in the right way with a man. Maybe she's super sexual. So we don't know that. I think you are totally right about expectations that have to match when men are looking for an age gap. Yes, Western matchmakers cost far too much compared to Ukrainian ones, and they provide a much better service. In America, there are fantastic matchmakers. In Ukraine, except from us, maybe, and also I had a woman who was my pupil, and I have worked with her, I have coached her. She's a matchmaker in the Western Ukraine. I can't actually recommend anyone because so many local like agencies, dating agencies have reached out to us like, oh, we have the ladies, you have the clients, let's introduce our ladies. And usually ladies that they suggest we take as clients from their database, they don't make the cut. So our manager talks to them and they don't even come to the interview with our psychologist. That's reality, unfortunately. So I hope there will be many new interesting matchmaking projects in Ukraine, and I think we will get there. Like all these IT companies, there are all these guys who need to be matched. So local matchmaking will be a scene very soon. And also, right now, Ukrainians are spread all over Western Europe. So We have been doing local matchmaking for years, and I'm sure most of local men, they will be willing to date local women, so we will do that as well. Guys, I have time for the last question, and I will wrap it up. It has been almost an hour, and I don't know when my phone will die. Usually, this live streams, they kill the battery so quickly, and I have left the charger somewhere, and the whole house sleeps, so I can't actually call anyone for a rescue. You don't, women should be the fairer one. How do you match people? Is it looks, income, education? Long-term goals and priorities, understanding about relationship, love, gender roles, money, having kids, careers, religion. Looks is it is here. Looks is important, but is not even a top five. Um, do you want to get married? Do you want official marriage? Do you want to have kids? Do you want to have them within the next 3 years, 5 years? Do you expect her to have a job, have a career, or to give it all up and to be a stay-at-home mom? Do you expect a woman to take care of the house, to be a stay-at-home mom, or will you do it 50-50, like cooking, cleaning, etc.? Will you go on expensive trips, or will you will you be saving money for college for your kids? So many factors, and people who have spent together like months of lockdown, they know that it doesn't matter much if your eyes are blue or green, or if she's blonde or brunette. If you are not on the same page about many things, after these 3 months, so many people got divorced. Not among our clients. We had zero. Actually, we had 2 marriages of people who were forced to spend the lockdown together. So they have understood that after such such a test of their relationship, and that if they have managed to spend 3 months together, they can spend a marriage together too. So no, it's not just about the looks, and of course not about the money. Just caught your live stream, turned 62 this July, retired Friday, never married. Do you currently have women my age? Yes, we have lots of fantastic women in their 50s who would be willing to date you. Of course, I have to talk to you more, but many women in their 50s are looking for a man who is 62, especially middle 50s, late 50s. So you can send us an email. We will schedule a free call, free Zoom or Skype consultation with me. We will talk more about you, and I will tell you more about the type of the lady we can introduce you to. I'm 43 and I want to have children, but want to be sure it is a good and stable relationship. This takes time before children come. If you date her for 8 months, for a year, you will already know everything you have to know about her. So after a year of a relationship, you will already know if you can actually propose to her. Like, what do you need to know? To test it by living together for 3 years? If she's in her 30s and she wants to have babies, she won't be willing to waste 3 years on a guy who is not sure. Like, really, 8 months, if you're in a serious committed relationship and you had all the talks, you will already know if you want to live with this person. People who tell me that, oh, I want to date her for 3 years, then to live with her for 3 years, you're not ready for marriage. You just want to play around. Of course, if you're 21, you can do that. If you're over 30, no. So if you're 43, date a woman in her 30s, date her for 8 months, propose to her, have an engagement that will last 8 months, maybe a year, then get married, then have kids. So you can do it all in a year and a half or in 2 years. Life is too short to waste it for people who are not sure. If you are not sure after like dating her for 3 years, you will still be not sure after dating her for 5 years. So it will be just a waste of time and a huge heartache for two of you. Hey, I'm willing to spend, I just have to process my annulment. Get a divorce and we will be happy to match you. You say looks is not on top five. Is that women in their 30s, women who feel like time is short, and it is that many Ukrainian women smart women are not willing to waste their time regardless which age group they are from. If she's 42 and she wants to meet someone and she wants to get officially married, uh, even if she doesn't want to have more kids, for example, she already had a kid from a previous relationship, she won't be willing to date a guy for several years who is not sure if he wants to marry her. No, she doesn't want to waste time. It's not about the clock ticking, no. If you want to have a relationship, you don't want to invest your time, and time is money. You don't want to invest your heart into someone who's not sure he wants to be with you. If people want it casual, then of course, there are plenty of women who want to be casual and they don't mind jumping from one relationship to another, having breaks between this relationship. But if relationship is a priority, then they want to date someone who is relationship oriented. And of course, like wasting time on someone who is not sure. Do Ukrainian women like Asian men? Some of them, not all. It's okay. Some people are attracted to certain type of looks. Other people find it too exotic for them. Also, there is this cliche that Asian men are not good lovers. I have heard it from so many women. I don't know where they get it from. So they have to tell them that it's not true. But we have matched Asian clients, and we have worked with gentlemen from Japan, from China, from Hong Kong, gentlemen from China who have relocated to Europe and to United States. We have worked with gentlemen from Korea. So yes, we have experience in that. I think I have like 5% more on my phone of the charge of the battery. One more questions, guys, and we will wrap it up because I'm already, you see, I'm already mixing the words. It's almost midnight here. I mean, in America, young women care about looks, either one or two, but as they reach 30, they start settling. Is Ukrainian women the same or different? I have seen and met tons of attractive women in the US, also in Germany. I have met tons of women who do not take care of their looks in the US and in Germany. In US, I have met many women who are biz, and right now it is called, I don't want to shame anyone, but it is called diversity. Like in Ukraine, we are a little bit obsessed on the looks. People dress to impress, and women love being pretty. If you will look through all these chat groups right now on Telegram of Ukrainian women who are temporarily located in different German cities or Polish cities, they all are looking for, like, where can I do my nails? Where can I do my hair? Do you know, like, the phone number of someone who can do my nails? Or do you know someone? And we all want to find someone Ukrainian because, guys, like, the best beauticians, they are like in Ukraine, like in Germany, in the US. It's hard to find someone who will do your nails properly. Like, that's reality. Like in Ukraine, the quality of these services, it is so much higher. You can't even compare it. So also some men think that, okay, I will date this woman who takes such a great care of her looks. Like, she's so glamorous, she's so polished, but she has to be super down to earth, and I won't be willing to pay like $100 on her hair and her nails, but she has to look like that. And in such situation, I want to do a face palm. So such guys, they think like, what? Like all the clothes magically appears in her wardrobe, or her looks, like she doesn't need shampoo or creams. So there are women who think that it is crazy to spend like $100 to do your nails if you can buy for this money something more important. So there are such women, but of course, their attitude to money and to life, their values, they will influence on the way they look. They will form their personality. Nice live stream, Svetlana, most appreciated. Guys, thank you so much for watching this one. I have been talking for more than an hour. Like, really? Do you want more live streams like this one? If you want more live streams like this one, please press like and comment below this video that you like the live stream, because We right now are not investing any money into promotion, so I would really appreciate it if you will press like, then YouTube will show this video to more people and we will get more leads, more good clients, because I have many new ladies in our database to match. And in 2 days, I'm going to Poland. I'm meeting women there again for a few days, and I will be back to Germany. I have met so many women, and also I'm getting my books to Germany and to Poland, and we start selling books in Ukraine, and I'm working on 2 books for women at the moment. And actually, I have started working on a book in English for gentlemen. I don't know, maybe like in 6 months, 9 months, 1 year. My first book, it has taken me like lots of time. Then it took me like about a year to finish a book. Thank you, Svetlana, for the live stream. You chose an interesting topic. By the way, can you suggest more topics? It will be highly appreciated. Also, it will help me with choosing topics for the new videos. Sasha, our operator, will be doing the cuts. So now I will be filming videos in Germany and in Poland, and he will be able to edit them. I'm happy with that. So we start working. It feels more normal now with Sasha doing his job. So suggest me some topics. I will film some new videos answering your questions. Thank you the time for answering the questions. Maybe I might ask the same thing next time. Well, it's up to you, of course. Most of the questions that we receive are the same because people have similar questions about dating and people fall for similar dating mistakes. Thank you so much for watching this one. I have enjoyed spending this evening with you. Email correspondence with your staff so I can know what to do and how far I need to get before I'm ready to start. You can ask all your questions for free. It's how we work, so nobody will charge you for questions. Please email us to Katerina@Diolli.com or fill in the request form at our website, and we will schedule the first free Skype consultation with me. And before that, you can ask all the organizational questions to Katerina. And after talking to us, after we understand that we can introduce you to the lady you want and you need, because sometimes it can be two different ladies whom the client claims he wants and whom he actually needs, and who can actually choose him back, are a beautiful, smart, attractive lady. And only after that, we will suggest you to sign up with us, to sign the contract. Nobody will charge you for a consultation. It is important for us to actually understand a little bit of who you are and what you're looking for, to understand that we can deliver you what you want and what you need. We love keeping our success rate high. Though, of course, we can't guarantee a wife because a lot will depend on you, on your attitude to the process, on your attitude to women on the dates. Actually, your attitude is like 80% of the success. Guys, thank you so much. It was a pleasure. Oh, in 1 minute, it's midnight. I have to go and get some sleep. Hopefully, I will see you next Sunday. And I'm looking forward to your questions and your ideas for new videos. Thank you for watching. Bye.